Minister, 1 in 12 people have a disability, roughly 8% of the population, and have a lifelong disability. And this is, this presents a challenge for society, how we treat these people. 2 in 5 of those people with disability risk poverty. 1 in 5 lives in absolute poverty and consistent poverty. And that's a shocking figure in itself. And it's well documented that the cost of living is higher for disability. The costs have been well outlined in terms of transport, the extra costs, medical costs, heating costs and everything else. And a government report, and we must look at this as well, Minister, in the context of a cost of living crisis. We're not living in normal times. If you look at the rate of inflation, it's accelerating, particularly the cost of essentials such as heating and food and transport and everything else. But a government report way back in 2021, that actually confirmed that an additional cost of between 9,480 and 11,734 euros was the cost of actually having a disability. And that's huge. So I think what we're discussing here tonight is important to develop a cost of living disability payment, to give an additional 20 euros per week from January, and for a lump sum payment this month to provide immediate assistance to people with disabilities. I think that's really, really important that we do that. And I just say to you that it's a huge issue. And can I just, in terms of the cost of disability, there's one issue I want to highlight here regarding young people, which I'm sure you've come across, that a reply here from the HSE, and they tell me that in the region I live in, the Shoffley, they say that there's currently a backlog of approximately 20 months plus for an assessment of need. That's for a child that needs an assessment of need. Now, I know it's even taken longer than that. And what that means there, Minister, is very simple. Those parents are begging and borrowing to meet that cost because they're going privately to get those assessments done. And that's only to get the assessment done. When they get the assessment done, they then have to go and try and source the therapies, which are often not available. So I just want to highlight that as one additional cost, particularly with people with children with special needs, to bring that home to you. If we could just say to you that one young person in the county contacted me, contacted many, but one in particular put this very well. If we could say, it wrote me a letter and said, I'm writing to you regarding my concerns about the recently announced budget. As a young person's income, my income is exclusively disability allowance due to my circumstances, and the budget for 2026 has overlooked and neglected my needs and the needs of many others. Disability allowance, as you know, is 10 euros of an increase to 254. However, the poverty line in 2024 for a single adult, such as myself, was assessed by St Vincent de Paul as anything below 346 euros. That's what's said to me in the letter. And just to highlight that to you, the human story behind this, could I say to you as well, Minister, that a lot of people who have a disability, because they're isolated in their home, they suffer from depression, and due to their living isolation and also due to their financial situation, the mortality rate is a lot higher for people with disability. They're more likely to suffer from mental health issues if they're confined to the home, and particularly if there's no work. And the pathways to employment for people with disability in this state are not good. I recently visited Rehab Enterprises in Laois to see the work that they're doing and meet some of the people there with disabilities. And it's heartening to see what they can do when they're given the opportunity. But Ireland ranks the lowest in terms of employment for those with a disability by almost 20%. For women, it's worse. Women with disability rises to 45% of a difference. Those who are moderately disabled should be given better opportunities to gain employment and better access to education. And particularly young people with disability and work, it's really important that their ability, not their disability, but their ability and talents are recognised, valued and utilised. And I would really impress on you, Minister, the importance of trying to develop pathways, further pathways to work, I think it's really, really important that we do that, because a lot of them have so much to offer. I'm sure you've seen it yourself, cases with people with disabilities, you know, that we don't recognise their ability enough. So just to conclude, with the budget, with the rate now at 254 for 2026, it's inadequate. The gap is in the region of around 10,000. As I said to you, St Vincent de Paul said a minimum of 346 per week is required, but I think €20, at least €20 of an increase from January would be a start. And let's start looking at disabled people's ability and less on their disability. I really encourage the government to do that out into the future. Thank you.